The Fiat Talento, light commercial vehicle, person or goods carrier, and the sibling here of a Renault Trafic, Nissan NV300 or the Opel or Vauxhall Vivaro. That review today on Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars with Thomas. So a different segment here today, and well, those light commercial vehicles, they're actually pretty popular, sold very often, but often not, not reviewed so often. But we will change that here today, together with you, and take a detailed look on the exterior, interior here in the person variant or person version, so to call it, and of course how this car is driving. And as I said earlier, when you watch this review, you also know a lot of the other cars that are also built on the very same corporation platform here. A lot of brands are using, and interesting also that so many brands are working together here right now. So let's go now with the Fiat Talento in Full HD, full screen and full length. Let's go. They've supplied the Fiat Talento with a pretty modern face. It's a friendly face, huge headlights here really, and they are drawn back here to give this modern look. Also a, let's say, rather sporty front grille, and this lower part here, there are two versions available. This one here painted in vehicle color, or if you want to go for a more rugged look or want to have maybe switch it around more often, go for an easier, cheaper version. It's also available just in black plastic. So this one would be the comparable high-end version for the front. Total length 5 meters or 16'4" with a short wheelbase. This one here, however, is the long wheelbase. That is then 5 meters 40 or 17'7". So 40 centimeters is a difference then. Long wheelbase if you want to have even more people inside or even longer goods. Of course, with a longer wheelbase it's a little bit harder to drive. The short wheelbase version really pretty much can be steered like a normal passenger car. This one here you do already feel that you are in a commercial vehicle segment. Then the side profile is really all about form follows function. You see also the passenger version has a separate window that can be opened from the inside in a funny way. I will soon show you that. Then optionally you can also get 17-inch rims. They look quite good for such a vehicle. Also black style here. So this is the top rim that is available. And you can see we'll have both sides here with the sliding doors. Soon come to that. Fuel cap is right there. And also to the rear, it's just about this, not losing any space on the interior, and that's of course good. Talking about prices, this car starts 23,000 net, so without VAT, taking a German reference price, with the goods carrier version, without window and just for stuff inside. Then of course it goes up and up and up, and this passenger version is among the most expensive. Then you have to check the price on your market each then. So now to the rear here, and again just a handy layout, not to lose space on the interior. Characteristically, all of those two wipers here is a funny solution that you can also have a clean vision right there. And I can also already show you one feature right now here, because when you open those doors here, so either you open them that way here in a 90-degree turn, that is possible, but then you can also unleash them like this, and then you can open them even wider, and then it's possible to easier load the car like this. This is the maximum setup right there. So engines, at least here in Europe, and this is a primarily European vehicle, Interesting to have hydraulic dampers for the engine. Very interesting. 1.6 liter diesel with 95, 120, 125 or 145 horsepower, as we have it right here now. And the two strongest versions are twin turbos, so that should give us enough power. And consumption 9-10 liter on 1 kilometers, you have, yeah, that's for sure. The key is a key card, and that's another sign for the Renault technology inside, because this is really commonly used at Renault. There's also this keyless entry button available, but seems not to be very reliable. Sometimes I have the feeling I have to open the car with the key card, and then I can just close it here, but that sometimes even doesn't work. I'm not really sure what's the secret there. So let's get inside, and here at the inside of the doors we have some space for beverages and stuff. You can see there are different interior styles available. For example, also a brown one, where you have this great mix of green and brown here. Very unique color mix for sure. And here for the window holders right there, and then you see the interior continues this brown style, for example here. But I mean, it's good that you not only have black, that you can spice it up just a little bit. Also a off-road driving mode is available here to reduce some wheel spin. Then there are some, for example here, some storage space right there. It's all relatively cheap build quality. The seats, however, they make a very good impression already from looking at it, also with two-color scheme, contrast stitches, and I can already tell you so far they are really very comfortable. We got a seat heating here as well, also for the co-driver seat, by the way. This is an optional feature for sure. Then I can get inside. Tell me more. Well, you have to climb in it just a little bit, but it's a comfortable entry. And indeed, it's such a comfortable seating position. That is one of the key features of this car, and also with a lot of commercial vehicles. You can pump it up, yaw the seat, and also down, and manual control front and back. The steering wheel, this is also nice, can not only be adjusted in the height, but also in the length, right there. And it's a, pretty bulky steering wheel, but it's okay for that vehicle. And the good thing when driving in slow conditions is it's pretty light, and as you sit relatively close to the front axle, this car, although it's pretty long already, is actually very good to steer also inside the city. And sometimes think, can I get around that corner? Does it work? But it does work actually, because you sit so close to the front axle, and therefore when you see also the hood is very short. The same with, for example, experience with the Peugeot Boxer, and then as the hood is so short, you can really get around narrow spaces or so. You just have to watch the rear axle that you don't catch anything with that. Cockpit overview here. The style is a little bit round in the first shape overall there. It's really nothing special. Manual functions here for the vents, which is basically okay for me. 7-inch screen, that's option available as a top level. Steering wheel can be adjusted as such, some white contrast stitches on the inside. The shifting lever, 6-speed manual, can be reached pretty easily. What is strange, that the speed limiter or the cruise control, you have to activate it right here, and then again on the steering wheel. Zoom more to the infotainment system, 12-volt power supply here, and on the top you have some coin holder, and you can also put some, for example, notebook right here. Well, not maybe a electronic notebook, a real notebook, for example. The instruments are relatively fancy, so up here on the left, digital speed in the middle, also from a Renault style, and fuel status on the right. Infotainment screen, biggest one that is available. The setup is, in this app style. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth. The map, it does its job, but that's just about it. And that happens when the ignition is turned off automatically after a while. You can also scroll inside the map a little bit, but the zoom function does not really work. And then radio setup, for example, all with this app view then here again, and you see again Renault style. USB also here to charge your phone. Then important for such a vehicle, more storage spaces, for example on the top here. You can put some stuff in. Then in the lower part for bottles, but I would have wished an adaptive bottle holder and maybe two, for example, just not that one here. And the glove box, that is very spacious indeed, but also just folds down right there. Interesting is this structure here, that is well done. Maybe more of those structures here. It feels actually quite good, although it's hard plastic. And also in the colored scheme, I think that spices up the interior just a little bit. And we do have a funny solution for the rear view camera. It's here in the mirror right there, and it's not really flickering at all there. It looks quite well. So it's small, but really helpful for the long wheelbase. Would it be better in the infotainment screen? Probably, but you can also argue you're looking in the rear view mirror anyway. A good detail is that the two floor mats here, they come close to each other, so you cover the whole ground, and then you can also easily remove that with those two clips here. So that's a good solution to keep your interior clean and just wipe them clean, take them off, and so I think found a good solution here for the front compartment. Hey guys, let's check out the side doors, and it's good that you have them on both sides. They open quite easily here, and then they are fixedly attached. And then here in this setup you have two rear benches, and let's first check the second row. And the strange thing is in black, and the second one yeah, because here the seat belt is hidden in the rear part. Then you click them in, the first, and then go with second, and I'll get in for that. Shoe tab, of course. So then you can take it right here, and it's hidden because then you can easily access also the third seating row. And the interesting thing is here, well, it can maybe with your foot, it can be a little bit close here, but on that knee room, also headroom, 1.86 m or 6'1". You can really sit with 8 tall adults in this car. This is also the biggest advantage of the long wheelbase version, to have this third seating row and also with a lot of space and still having a lot of trunk in the rear. And I can really assure you it's really comfortable to sit on each of those seats here, and always the full safety belt equipment. For child, it's mainly the second row, because you also have the ISOFIX anchor points hidden right there. And well, no top tethers, but the ISOFIX will do, also the seat belts. And then we have to use this side here to get in the third seating row, because it's not possible really from the other way around. Here there's a lever, and this lever, you can flip the seat, and then you can see you can have the access then to the third seating row. It's not possible, as I said, from the other one. And here again you have a lot of room. You can fix the seat belt from the front again, like this, yeah, like this. And the same mechanism also works here for the rear, just that the one part is already clicked in, because it doesn't annoy anyone. And you can do it like this. Oh well, I can see here now the top tether is below the seat, by the way. So top tether, child seat, anchor below the seat. And here, even if you have that one like this, there's already still a lot of knee room left. So, and also headroom wise, so that's again the real big advantage of this car. And here, overall, really very comfortable also to sit here in the rear. And that's the impression from the rear when you sit here. Here, for example, you can also get some stuff right in. Would have been good if you have maybe a sliding function for the rear bench, that you can slide it forward and backward easily, but that's not possible here. And also this small window here for the second row. Well, you can also access it from the third row, but it's mainly, well, it's split for the third and second row like this. In the trunk area here, so I'm not quite sure why they covered it here so extensively, because it reduces the height, of course, and you shouldn't put things above that here. Well, when you lean them against you like this height, that's probably okay, but still, for safety reasons, you shouldn't put anything on it, because it could probably get to the passengers. And well, maybe that's also the reason they had it secured here, but maybe you could have also secured it higher. Then you can also flip that one here to easy access everything, and you can also, for example, just remove it to have a better view right there. So, and here we go. You see you have a lot of room left, and this is the advantage of the long wheelbase. So this is really the trick. You can also remove the third bench, of course, have different setups right here. And this one here, well, it is a durable floor, but the disadvantage is really slippery. So if you put some luggage on there, it's going all the way left and right and front and back. And there are no real nets or so available to secure it. You just have those anchors here. Maybe you could put some tension bells right there. But you know, a stickier floor would have been a little bit better. But overall, really, you know, great using of space. And it's even a little bit softened here, this floor, maybe for a nap. And one more function I want to show you: if you pull this red strap right here, you can fold the third bench forward to load through some longer things. Let's go with the driving part. Some city, some Autobahn. And we're riding this 1.6 liter diesel, 145 horsepower twin turbo. Biggest one that is available, and you do feel that it really has a lot of power here. 80 kilometers, for example, fourth gear, and 100. And for a light commercial vehicle, that's really not bad. So you do have enough power there. And I mean, we're not fully low at the moment, rather the opposite. So this diesel would be really suitable if you're driving with full house all the time, or if you have some, you know, more load, for example, in those carrier versions of that vehicle. So you do feel similarities, of course, to the other siblings. They are really coming very close also in driving. Now again was Nissan NV300, the Opel Vivaro, Renault Trafic, and well, I mean, you do feel it's also Renault if you check the schematics there in how the speed is being displayed, for example, and also when I'm looking at the GPS that is running while driving. It has a matte display, by the way, so you don't have too much glare effect then when it's sunny. That's pretty good. You do profit on a long-term run from the upright seating position here. I really like that with those commercial vehicles. So you know, sometimes you or your drivers, then if you own a business who need this car, really spend a lot of time in the vehicle, and therefore it's very important that it's comfortable. And I found those seats very comfortable, so this is really good. Overview: we do not have a blind spot monitor. It's really very rare in those commercial vehicles. I think the new Crafter has it, doesn't it? But yeah, of course the T6. But you have this split mirror function. There you can also see what's in your blind mirror, at least most of the time. And also, especially in this passenger version here, well, there's a real bus next to us now. I can also see through the side windows behind me. That's of course a very handy solution then. It's different when you have this commercial, this pure commercial version than with the carrier function. But here again, this is one of the biggest advantages here also, that you can check the rear window, for example. That is sometimes also possible in the carrier versions, depending on your setup. So when I used to transport my motocross bikes, maybe every week in the weekend, we had this solution for our carrier that in the rear there were windows that you can really see through while driving. But then when we parked the car somewhere and the bikes were in the back, that no one could look inside there and maybe had the idea to steal them, that you had just custom made by yourself, a small curtain. So it was an easy solution, and you could unzip it. That was a pretty good solution. And sometimes you either get nothing or very, very complex professional solutions, but I haven't seen it quite often. That some easy but still effective solutions are being offered to buy. Then you end up with building something yourself, for example. So, good overview again to the big side mirrors. And the suspension also conveys a very relaxed riding feeling. Of course, this car is not at all about side agility or something like that, but especially when just running straight, it's really good. And also with load and people in the rear, it's really soft suspension, and I like the setup really from here. So even if there are some bumps in the road, it's evened out, and that's perfectly fine, because I do not expect any sporty appearance from this very vehicle. However, if you also compare it, for example, to a Volkswagen Transporter, the T6, the T6 can really be driven relatively agile. That was, that's the amazing aspect about that one, the suspension, and the suspension is not really uncomfortable. So if you want a sportier ride, then probably go for this one. Other than that, as I said, good comfort also from the suspension. The steering is pretty light, so if you park this car in and out, then it helps you, because you don't have to have much power in your arms just to turn it around. Well, the possible downside of that is that you don't have so much feeling in the steering wheel, but then again, it's also probably not the most important aspect here for this very segment. The steering wheel is also pretty thick, and the cruise control is a little bit strange. You have this button here next to the steering wheel that you can activate, and then you have to go with those buttons here on the steering wheel. And then you can also set the cruise control. About consumption, by the way, a realistic figure is about 10 liters. Sorry, again, I'm always making this mistake. 10 liter, not 10 trash, so 10 liter per 100 kilometers. This could be lower indeed, and I mean, we are also driving without heavy load, so maybe this can even go up then a little bit more. The sunshade, by the way, you see I'm facing against the sun. Wow, it's a huge sunshade, really effective. You can already see that in my face now. So a lot of practical solutions here also for that vehicle that you can use very well. Also, for example, when you're getting to a halt and then grab some coins, or your notepad that you maybe need for work to check an invoice or whatever, that all works. The GPS, I mean, also does the basic functions when it's working right here also by driving, but again, nothing really fancy. Getting on another Autobahn part here right now, and we can give you one more acceleration. This time I do it in third gear, so giving it a little bit more RPM. And then we can also check how calm it is running on the Autobahn at 100. Also when you go into the higher gears, for example, what about the RPMs there? That's always something very interesting for the engine calmness or quality. So 70 kilometers an hour, now third gear. and that's it. So you already realize probably at about 94, 95, the vehicle was demanding also the 4th gear already. And then when I'm just rolling on the Autobahn, I can also put it in 6th gear. And when I'm in 6th gear now, 100. Let's see about the RPM. And it is just below 2000 rounds per minute. Could be a little bit lower as well for 6th gear in the diesel, couldn't it? Yeah, I think so. Side wind, by the way, it's always crucial with those vehicles here, so we have to work sometimes a little bit with the steering wheel. And then this is also one disadvantage with this car, especially because of the rather soft suspension. You don't have the best feeling in the steering wheel at higher speeds as well. So I wouldn't drive too fast with the car, because it, doesn't really get unstable, but it feels unstable because of, you see the light steering, then the wind effect. So be careful, don't ride too fast with those vehicles. They are not really made for it. And then we'll already get out of the motorway, see how it performs there when we reduce speed. But overall, I can already say it's a pretty relaxed ride, and also doesn't feel too much truck-alike. I mean, we do have the long wheelbase version here. That is a little bit trickier to drive than the short wheelbase version. You have to pay attention that you do not damage the rear axle, that you always drive, let's see, a little bit further in the corners, because with a normal passenger car, you're always directing the front tires around the corner, basically. But here you have to think that you direct the rear tires around the corner, and therefore you have to go a little bit further into the corner with the front tires, because the rear axle is being pulled after you. And if you have the shorter wheelbase, it's even easier to drive. The short wheelbase version really pretty much still drives like a normal car. Here the long wheelbase version, you always have to pay attention just a little bit more. But overall, it's not too annoying or too stressful to ride, and I think this easy, cozy feeling is also what is very positive about this very segment here still, and also the cars we have here at the moment, also those ones that are still the siblings. So that's our riding inside for today. So guys, now to our conclusion here today. Is really a vehicle you can use for a lot of different purposes, and one of the very good offers in the light commercial segment, that's for sure. So price performance is very good. Exterior, I think it's really a modern exterior they delivered right here, and then you can get the different versions, short wheelbase, long wheelbase, as we have it here right now. If you want to have some more people in it, or if you want to have some more goods, so you're very flexible for your purpose there. The interior, this is definitely the crucial point. That one has to be stepped up. It's already better than in earlier versions in this segment here, but I would meanwhile really expect more build quality in the interior. This is something to work on for sure. Driving, we were also quite satisfied. It's a soft suspension, light steering wheel. It's easy to steer around that vehicle in the city, because you sit relatively close to the front axle, so you can easily steer it around also when it gets a little bit tricky. Even easier, of course, with the short wheelbase version. Thank you very much for watching here this Autogefühl episode. Tune in next time, no matter if we're going for some commercial vehicles, super sports cars, or bestseller small normal cars. Whatever, it's all here in Autogefühl, and you will join us there also next time. Thank you very much.